So next we have Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon, I know, goes to Indiana in a sign and trade. A lot of teams are trying to work that out because they don't want to lose a player for nothing. But they are, but ultimately Milwaukee works that out and gets a first and second pick from Indiana for Brogdon going over to them.
All right, very nice. So next we have JJ Redick.
JJ Redick, good pickup by New Orleans. I mean, they're building something good there, especially the guys they got from the Lakers. 2 years, I want to get $26 million. So, good shooter. You always need shooters, and he's one of the best.
So we saw DeMarcus Cousins do some good things at the end of the playoffs.
We did. I'm a fan, and I always wanted him on the Wizards. But coming off an Achilles injury like Durant is, like John Wall, it's going to be tough for him to establish market value or what he perceives. So we'll see where he goes. There's been rumors about the Knicks. The Knicks, as we've seen tonight, they're throwing around money since they missed out on the top guys. So we'll see if he ends up over there. But DeMarcus Cousins, it's anyone's guess where he goes. I think he's going to try to get as much value. I wouldn't be surprised if he does a kind of a 1 or 2 year prove it deal to try to get max value because he's still young and a big that can shoot the three.
Yeah, absolutely, and he really did well.
He did well. I think there was a couple of games where he played well in the finals. So we'll see what happens. Rooting for him, just coming back from that injury also.
Yeah, absolutely. So next we have Al Horford.
Al Horford, I think he's surprised that he left the Celtics. I think the Celtics are going to have to regroup at center there, but it seems like Sacramento might be the team he goes to. There's been a mystery team that's going to give him a great offer. I think it was 4 years, over $100 million, and it sounds like Sacramento. So that's
Sacramento, the mystery team.
Exactly, Sacktown.
Then we have Bojan Bogdanovic.
Yeah, a great shooter going to Utah. So Utah is probably, in my opinion, the best defensive team in the NBA, and adding a shooter only helps.
Yeah. And my boy Mike Conley went there too. So
he did. Now they got going. They're building over there. I do like what they're doing. Yeah, exactly.
So maybe we'll see their name a lot next
year. Yeah, exactly. When you have defense, defense wins in the playoffs. They're not going to beat the Lakers, but still.
I know. Especially Kawhi signs.
Oh no. Yeah, exactly.
So Julius Randle.
And I'm sorry for a little bit of laughter there, but I had a conversation with some of my buddies who are Knicks fans, being in New York, but Knicks throwing around money. So Julius Randle, $21 million a year for a double-double guy to just start shooting threes. Double-double guys, you can probably find him on the street in New York playing in Rucker or at West 4th.
But, man, Julius.
Yeah, Julius.
You got a lot of competition on the streets here.
Welcome to New York.
So we have Brook Lopez next, who was on Milwaukee, and you think he's going to stay there.
Former New Yorker with the Nets, and now he's going to Milwaukee. I like what Milwaukee's doing. Yeah. They sign him, they lock him up, and they lock Chris Middleton. So, kind of also gives us a picture of who might come out of the East with them in Philly, maybe. But great, I always say when you have a window, you go for it, just like the Lakers are doing, and it looks like Milwaukee is doing the same.
Yeah, and they were fun to watch this past year.
They were a good team, and the Greek Freak, must-see TV.
Must-see TV, absolutely.
Exactly.
So we talked about him already, DeAndre Jordan.
Yes,
went to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, exactly. So he's one of those guys that you got to bring him in just to get Durant over. He's one of Kevin Durant's good friends, so you get him over there and you see what happens. But the Nets are going to be a decent team with DeAndre Jordan. You know what's going to happen at the end of games though with DeAndre.
I know they're going to foul him.
He needs to work on that during the offseason in New York.
I think so.
Yeah, exactly.
So. If you know what they're going to do, you need to practice.
Yeah, you would think. You would think so.
Then we have Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes, he opted out, and he was going to get paid $25.1 million. So surprising that a player like him opts out. He's kind of a stiff player, but he plays a small forward, could play power in a small ball lineup. But it sounds like Sacramento is going to lock him into a team-friendly deal that works for him and works for the team. So instead of 25 for one, he gets a 3-year deal at still over $20 million a year.
All right.
So that's where it looks like he's going.
So those are the top free agents that we want to talk about. So there are some teams that we want to talk about. Teams who are going to be in the contenders for the championship.
Right. We don't want to talk about pretenders. We don't want to waste everyone's time like the other 29 teams this season. I mean, at the end of the day,
it's only the top ones that count.
Like Danny Green said when he was with the Arizona Cardinals, if you want to crown them, And if Kawhi signs, we're crowning the Lakers.
Absolutely.
We're pretty sure that's going to be Showtime is back.
Yep.
If
They're
Kawhi gets there.
Fun to watch and fun to watch till the very, very end.
Exactly, and I think the Lakers right now. Look, I think we were talking about it before. 32.2 million in cap space for a max. What do? Do you mix it up and sign a few players? I was thinking maybe a JJ Redick, a shooter, because LeBron always needs shooters. He just needs them to win the way his game is played. But if you can get a guy like Kawhi, you do that and spend the money. And now what you have to do is just filler. So I think the Lakers can step up and maybe get a guy like George Hill, who just got waived, and you sign him to a veterans minimum, and you sign guys. You know that J.R. Smith will follow LeBron. He's not going to miss out on a city that he can party in. As long as the Hennessy is flowing, J.R. Smith will be there.
Yeah. You do like to party in New York as well.
Speaking of guys who like to party, someone who just got in trouble and don't want to bring up marital situations, but you guys can check out what's going on with Carmelo and someone he was pictured on a boat with, and that situation. But on the basketball end, he is a guy that's rumored to join LeBron and be a filler on that team, because that's all the Lakers need. Just guys filling, and you get guys like J.R. Smith getting another ring. You get Carmelo getting his first ring possibly, and George Hill also getting his first ring.
So I think lots of rings are going to go to the Lakers.
They could fill out their team, and they could do what the NBA is popular for, load management with those stars.
So if the Lakers don't make it, who else do we think are going to make it next year?
Well,
maybe the Bucks.
The Bucks. I think you look at the East, because I think in Houston you have the Rockets, where they still need another player. They're trying to do a sign and trade, so we'll see who they end up with. But as you can see, they couldn't beat Golden State without Kevin Durant last year. So I'm still worried about the chemistry there with CP3 and James Harden. So, but I think we're looking at the East, and we're looking at Milwaukee and Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Great move by locking down Tobias Harris. Did they overpay him? Probably. But at the end of the day, when you have a window, you have to take advantage of that window. In the NBA, you just never know when you're going to have that. In Philly, locked him down. You always need shooters. So I think the only thing that they need on their team is maybe to get a few shooters. And we'll get into some sleeper free agents that we think could fill roles on minimum salaries and things like that. Milwaukee, same thing. Milwaukee locked down Chris Middleton today, and they got they locked and they re-upped with Lopez. So I think they're going to be a great team as well. So if you're talking to me today about who's going to battle LA, it's going to be Milwaukee and Philly and maybe Boston.
Oh, Boston.
You can never count Boston out. Danny Ainge, great GM. They got Kemba. The thing that Boston is priding itself on is what sometimes what's the saying? It's addition by subtraction. So removing Kyrie, getting Kemba in there might elevate a guy like Jason Tatum, who I think is a superstar in the making. You get him, you get Gordon Hayward, who started to show life last year. Coming off that injury, it's probably a year that it takes to recover. So you get him playing the small forward. They got to fill center. But I think Boston and Danny Ainge is just a great GM. I think they're going to fill out the other spots, and Boston, you can't count Boston out. So I think Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly are going to be the top teams in the East.
To battle the Lakers on the West.
Yeah, like I said, the Lakers.
It's going to be a really great season to watch next year. So even though it's not for a while, we're all really excited about it. And
well, I think the season kind of started today and ended today, right? I think we're gonna have a fun season, because you always want to have that enemy to root for, and I think fans are gonna now hate LeBron is gonna be the villain this year. So I think that's just the way it is, because they're gonna hate on him. They should hate on Rich Paul. Rich Paul is the super agent now that is basically building this team. Funny thing about the whole Lakers situation is, last year we saw the drama where LeBron wanted Anthony Davis, and threw his teammates under the bus. He wanted Kawhi Leonard, and now he has them. He might have them both. He might have them both.
He's going to get what he wants.
So
just 1 year later.
Who runs the NBA? Is it Adam Silver or is it LeBron James?
Patience is a virtue.
Exactly.
So we have some sleepers we want to talk about, right?
Right. That might fit on some contenders where now everyone's spending their money. They're throwing their money around like, it's a great economy thanks to, I guess, what Trump is doing, right? I guess.
I guess so. So our first one is...
Oh, JaMychal Green. He's a good player, 6'9" forward that can shoot the three. In my opinion, that's who gets paid. Right now, premium positions, interchangeable positions where you can shoot the three is huge. Where wings are huge, bigs that can shoot the three, and I think we have a guy, Dwayne Dedman is a guy that's a 7-footer that can shoot the three. Shot it at 38% clip for the Hawks last year. He can step in, and a contender who needs a big. Right there's a guy that fits.
Yeah, that's pretty unique, right? Like someone who has that large of a wingspan but can also shoot the three.
Exactly. It's like a unicorn, like Kristaps Porzingis has been called.
Unicorn.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hard to find those guys. Reggie Bullock is another name. A great shooter in Detroit. Played in LA. Numbers went down a little bit, but I think he'll be a great signing for someone as well. Contending team again.
All right.